Good morning, everyone. Happy It's Okay to Tell Day. Before I jump right in, I want to share with you all, shout out to everyone on Facebook, everyone on Instagram, everyone on YouTube. YouTube, hey, hey, hey. Y'all know me. I am Aziza Kabibi, the founder of Precious Little Ladies Incorporated, where our mission is to end child sexual abuse, incestuous abuse, gender-based violence. And we do that through educating the community, raising awareness through PSAs and various media campaigns. We educate law enforcement, social workers, teachers, guidance counselors on recognizing the signs of abuse and also how to support survivors. And one thing that I think is unique to PLL that many other organizations may have overlooked is that we also expose predators. So if you go to our Instagram page or any of our social media, you will find reports on various offenders, sexual abusers, rapists, so on and so forth, because we feel that it is important to not only highlight the impacts of abuse or exploitation on survivors, but also bring attention to what is causing the issue in the first place, and that is the predators. So that's the work that we do. Our newest event that we are having for Mental Health Awareness Month in May is an event called Should I Get Therapy? And this event, essentially, the purpose is to open up discussion in Black and Brown communities to try to destigmatize the idea of getting therapy. No, having a therapist does not make you weak, does not mean that you're crazy. And some of those stigmas, some of those stereotypes we as people of color tend to internalize, and not to mention even the fact, even as a woman and in the Black community, because of our history in America, we have taken on this perspective that we have to be strong and we have to always appear strong, and there aren't many spaces where we are allowed to be vulnerable and to intentionally ask for help. So getting therapy, having a counselor, it's kind of looked down on in our communities. So I want to open up the discussion, offer a space for people to explore different types of therapy and really bring attention to the resources that are out there that will be very useful to you. So that is on May 10th. I will share the banner a little later. I will share the flyer a little later. But before we jump into today's program, It's Okay to Tell Day was created as a day to encourage parents to communicate with their children, open up dialogue about the things that are going on in their kids' life so that we can kind of dispel the spaces or rid the spaces that predators thrive in, and that is in secrecy. So the idea is that parents are to allow their children to speak with them openly about anything in their life, things that they have done, things that they are experiencing, without fear of consequences. So that would be punishment, grounding, anything like that. And it's not an easy space as a parent. I know, because my son utilizes it every every March 16th. He utilizes it, and honestly, some of the things that he's told me has been like, what? You do it what? Huh? But he's excited for the day because he knows that he won't get in trouble. And when I tell you, being a part of your child's life experiences when you're not there, how liberating and empowering that is as a parent, Yeah, It's Okay to Tell Day is definitely useful and impactful. So I'm going to play just a short video that kind of summarizes what I basically did, but it'll clarify some things. So here we go. Reports say that 1 in 4 girls are molested before they turn 18. But in reality, those statistics are only based on what has been reported to authorities, which estimates to be only 12% of actual incidents. Because of the shame and guilt sexual abuse causes in victims, combined with the negativity associated to tattling, children are likely not to report being abused. They fear getting in trouble or even feel responsible for what happened to them. A child is then more likely to keep the secret and the abuse continues. March 16th is It's Okay to Tell Day, and a day that parents can use as a tool to encourage open conversation with their children. The month of March, It's Okay to Tell Month, is a time to encourage survivors to speak out unashamed. Let's teach the world that it's okay to tell. For more information on Precious Little Ladies, call 1-877-TELL-PLL, and remember, you are not alone. And we are back. So, as I mentioned, that video that is posted on our social media. So, if you want to use it to share to educate your community or your organization, facility, on what the day means, what it represents, how you could use it and incorporate it in your life with your family and with your children, definitely go to Instagram, to our profile page, which is at PLL Nonprofit, and you can share it. Please do. Please do that. Make sure you share it if anybody wants to educate people or have a clear tool that will let people know what It's Okay to Tell Day is. So, what I'm going to do is share a clip from our It's Okay to Tell Day live stream in 2021. It's about 3 minutes, and it is me having a conversation with one of our board members and consultants, Dr. Sharon Rodriguez. She is a social worker in East Orange, New Jersey. She also is a professor at Keene University, and she is instrumental in our work. Building confidence in your children. She says, as a person who suffered a traumatic experience as a child, I always try my best to have good communication with my daughters. Okay. I let them know that they can come to me and let me know of any issues they are experiencing. I tell them that no matter what, I will not judge them. I reassure them that I am their mother and I will always look out for them. I've spoken to them and told them that if they feel that anyone is making them uncomfortable, to always tell me. They know that they are to be respected. I have told them that it is okay to tell, because no matter what the issue may be or who the issue is with, I will always believe them and I will always be there for them. I am a mother first, and it is my job to always look out for my children. So, Dr. Rodriguez, I mean, aside from the fact, I do feel like, and maybe you've experienced this, I do feel like parents who have experienced sexual abuse are a little more, gung-ho about warning and protecting their children. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, they can be, or it can be the complete opposite. They will allow it to happen,
Wow, that's something.
which is an area that is very sensitive,
Yeah.
especially to the client, especially to the person who's experiencing now, even if their parent experienced it. I love this parent that she says that she tells her daughter, even if they feel uncomfortable. So it doesn't have to be the actual touching.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the feeling of feeling uncomfortable, because then it'll open the communication lines to, so what made you feel uncomfortable? What was it? Was it a look, or was it something that was said, or was it the body language? So that's really, really, really important.
Right, I agree. And parents need to recognize that children are extremely receptive. They're extremely receptive to adults, I think. And I know, like, for me, my background is Southern on my father's side and West Indian on my mom's side. And as children, we was always, you're pushed to hug the aunt or uncle or to greet out of respect. But when it comes down to it, if you want to really establish in your child and give he or she that confidence and that agency over her own body, then I don't agree with forcing a child to hug or kiss anyone, if they really don't want to. Okay, that was an interesting point to kind of lead into and segue into our one of the things that we do. That didn't sound that great, but one of the things that we employ for It's Okay to Tell Day is a survey, a survey that we send out to parents, people in the community. We do it through social media ads and different broadcasts. And whenever we hold events, the ability to sign up for this survey is there. So we get a lot of input and data from parents from all over the US because being that the survey is available online, then we get input from people from different states as well as here in New Jersey where we are located. And all of the many of the information, a lot of the input from parents, they spoke a lot about body autonomy and teaching their children that their body is theirs. So not only just being able to speak about them being uncomfortable, your child being uncomfortable, it's also about knowing well, acknowledging what being uncomfortable is and having the right to speak out against the fact that you are uncomfortable or if something that the person is doing is making you uncomfortable, really raising your voice and empowering yourself from childhood. So that's important because even in adulthood, as we grow up, if you have this if you internalize as a child that you don't have a right to say no because you are a child, you cannot say no to an adult because you are a child, that stays with you into your adulthood. And a lot of messaging, yes, does say that as, let's say, a woman, you can say no. And we use women as an example because we are the more vulnerable sex physically. And the way our society is structured is that is in a way where the man is superior to the woman. So women are vulnerable. Women are vulnerable in communities. Most reports of sexual assaults and crimes against people, violent crimes against people, are against women. Most perpetrators, most predators are male. So our focus with PLL, yes, is to support and address the challenges that girls and women go through. However, we are aware that sexual abuse and sexual assault also affects boys and men. So when we say precious little ladies, it's really speaking to the the vulnerable child that is within all of us. So even just as far as the feminine energy and really empowering your feminine energy, whether you are male or female, to defend yourself, to speak up for yourself, to advocate for yourself, and to advocate for others. So, with the clip that we watched, the line of conversation that Dr. Rodriguez and I took was based on a response to PLL's It's Okay to Tell Day survey, which is incentivized with an opportunity to earn a kid's tablet. So using that, I will now share some input from parents who participated in the survey from our It's Okay to Tell Day 2025 outreach. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Here we are. Okay. So Crystal from Oregon her recommendation, because in the survey, along with what a parent's needs are, what the family needs are, we're trying to discover how, if COVID-19 has impacted them or continues to impact them, what access do they have in their communities to survivor support service, child's reporting services, abuse prevention programs, recovery programs, rape crisis center. So we're gathering all of this information to see the accessibility and just the knowledge of the community on how to access these services. One of the questions in the survey is for a parent to input, if they are a parent, but to then contribute their perspective on how to protect their children. So Crystal from Oregon says to be open about your life and struggle. Make you the parent their safe space. Use your life experience, be real, show that your situation hurt, but made you who you are today. And I think that is, if anybody, I shout out to again all of the platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you are just joining, it's okay to tell day is today, March 16th, and we're just talking about some of the things, recommendations, resources that PLL uses and shares to help protect and prevent sexual abuse of children, of sexual assault of people, and also support survivors, resources and tools to support survivors. So, please go in the comments, ask your questions. But going back to what Crystal from Oregon said, for anybody that knows me, you know what I've been through, the fact that I have survived years and years of sexual abuse, rape, physical abuse as well, mental, religious, financial abuse from my father. And it resulted in 4 children, 5 pregnancies, 4 children. So this point stuck with me that Crystal made, because I do believe, and I have employed it myself without necessarily having anybody tell me that, but I have employed being open with my children about the impacts of the abuse that our father inflicted on me. And I try to save them the graphic details. I only share with them what they feel once I get started, what they feel they could handle. And if they have any questions, I answer them openly. And I think that that has been instrumental in our relationship and them being open with me. I do find that as parents, we tend to put ourselves in this position of authority. Well, of course, we are in a position of authority over our children. However, there's no manual for raising kids. There's no manual for raising humans and developing humans and sending them out in the world. Many have tried to write them, but every child, every person is different. Every experience is different. And I think that it's important to connect with your child in a way to show that by showing that you are learning yourself. Now, yes, you are the authority of many things. I am the authority on many things when it comes to my children. And also my experiences has taught me a lot. And I try to share with them what my shortcomings are, what the challenges I faced were. I try to give them plenty of cautionary tales. I admit to mistakes that I make, and I think that that is really important, and it's instrumental in the bond that we have, and even encouraging them to then talk to me about some of their weaknesses. Now, I'm sure they don't tell me everything, but I do believe they tell me a lot more than they would have if I was not vulnerable with them. So thank you, Crystal, for your input. Our next survey participant is Desiree from New Jersey, and she says, when your kids come to you, listen and don't shun them. It's not always easy. Got that right. If you react negatively, they will not open up to you. Let them always know they can come to you. And one thing that I couldn't fit here that Desiree also said is that her daughter now is 25 and she still comes to her with her challenges and she still opens up to her. So going back to what I said earlier, clearly if Desiree has used taken her own advice and employed being open and listening to her child, actively listening to her child, then now her child is an adult, it has manifested in their relationship in a positive way. I do think that actively listening is very important. So now we have these cell phones and everything is a distraction and there's always something else to do at the same time as listening to your child. But if your child comes to you with anything, anything, I know sometimes I do remember sometimes my kids would come to me with what seemed to be not important. At the end of the day, it seemed very unimportant. However, those moments where the complaint might be, I don't know, they can't get the jar open or the toy won't stay where it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to go, or even telling on each other as siblings, telling on each other sometimes. As a parent, I can honestly say, I'm like, okay, y'all could have handled this yourselves. However, when you do something consistently, like listen to your child, give them all of your attention, it will encourage them to, well, one, build confidence within themselves, but then always see you as a resource and as a safe place. And doing the opposite will get the opposite response. You dismiss your child over something small because you feel that it's ridiculous or not worth your attention, then it's going to be difficult for them to determine what is worth your attention. And the rejection is going to have a negative impact on them. Then when something important does come up, they're less likely to share it with you because you may have dismissed them or not given them your attention at the time that it was something small and they came to you about it. So, I'm not a perfect parent. I haven't been all of my life. As I said, there's no manual for being a parent. And even I tell my children, when dealing with them as individuals, I have to interact with them based on their individuality because each one is so different. Each one is different. They come into this world with things that completely new things, and I am becoming a parent all over again. So yeah, my first, not to mention the circumstances when I had my first child, when I had Arish, my father was still in control and dictating everything and making all the decisions and still abusing me. So my experience raising her was a little different compared to, let's say, Uriel, who is my son for my ex-husband. I was a completely different person by the time that I had him. And I learned a lot of things through my experiences and through my journeys. So being communicative with my children was extremely important to even me developing and improving as a parent. So thank you, Desiree from New Jersey, for your input because, yeah, it is important to not just, you know, shun your child away when they are trying to get your attention or share something with you. That then plays into, even if it's something small, plays into how and if they communicate with you about things that are heavier or more important or has more of an impact on both of your lives. Okay, so I actually that's what we have from our survey. Let's see, are there any questions or comments? We will review. Lorraine, what would you do differently? That's an interesting question. You'd have to give me a little more information because Was that pertaining to, was that question triggered by something that I said? What I would do differently? Actually, something comes to mind. So, of course, when I first escaped my father, um, there were a lot of things I had to work on. I had to work on getting my children back, establishing myself in the world, getting over things like my anxiety, dealing with people. I mean, I had to get my kids' birth certificates and social security numbers. And I had a lot. I had a lot to do. And I studied African American history in university. And one thing that I could relate to the experience of descendants of Black America, of Africans who were brought here, descendants of enslaved people in America, is that once they were liberated from by the Emancipation Proclamation, being free, I'm trying not to get choked up here. Being free, once you are out of an oppressive situation, is scary as hell. Like, when you are oppressed and you are dependent on your oppressor, and there has been damage done to you psychologically, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, learning who you are outside of that space is a labor. It's a labor, it's a lot of work. So, yes, I identify with a lot of the experiences of enslaved, what used to be enslaved people who then found themselves free and now having to provide for themselves and navigate the world as a free person. And that came with a lot. Let me take this down. Um, and that came with a lot. Give me 1 second. Okay. That came with a lot. So when I found myself free, there was a lot that came along with it. And yes, I had to work on myself, but then I had to learn how to be a single mom. And then outside of that, I wanted to date. I wanted to have a boyfriend. I wanted to do all the things that I dreamed about doing when I was younger and being abused by my father. So I started dating, I think maybe about, I don't know, it was a couple of years after escaping my dad. And I also wanted to get to a place of normalcy as what I understood what normal should be. So I think I rushed. So going back to your question, well, I'm answering your question, Lorraine, I probably would have taken more time. I probably would have taken more time for myself to heal better, to learn more about the world before I started dating, before I got married. I rushed into getting married. I met my ex-husband and I fell in love with him. He seemed like everything that I imagined that I wanted from when I was young. And I had my grandmother, kind of wanted me to be in a space of normalcy, and my sisters and my mom, like, so there was this idea of like being the eldest daughter and wanting to have a normal relationship and life. When he proposed to me, I said yes. I think maybe I should not have. I don't think that I was mentally mature enough to make that decision effectively. So that's probably something that I would have done differently. I probably would have just waited a little longer before dating, understood, learned more about myself and who I was before I started getting involved with the opposite sex. So that's probably one thing. Okay, and it's something, I'm just talking about my ex-husband, and I have my son, the first PLL ambassador, technically waiting to join us to get you all, give y'all some input on what one being a PLL ambassador is, and also what his experience with It's Okay to Tell Day has been. I shared a little bit with you all earlier, but now you get to hear it from the horse's mouth. There is one comment. Well, I'll go back to the comments after we bring this fella in. Hello, son. Let's see. Do I unmute you? Okay, unmute your mic.
Right, that's me.
That's me. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
What are you
What are you
doing?
doing?
Everybody's having
Everybody's having a
thing.
and
I
I
am
am
shown
shown
as
as
beautiful mothers.
beautiful mothers.
Okay, wait. For some reason, you're going in and out. Like your sound is going in and out. So I don't know if you need to get closer.
Is it better?
Is it better?
Yeah, that's better.
My name is.
Uh-oh, still. Is it your internet?
Let me try.
Let me try some.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. How does
How does it sound?
It sounds good, but now you're frozen. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
For
For
the third time.
my name is
My name is Corey Jones,
and
and
I'm a PLL'd
I'm a PLL ambassador
as well
as well as
Aziz's son.
son.
And
I
I just wanted
wanted to come on
my
as a PLL and
how
update
and
the month of March itself
as a
a
great
great.
Oh God. It's still in and out. I still can't hear you.
All right.
You hear me now?
You hear me now?
Okay, try.
All right.
All right.
Do I have to
Do the.
No, you don't have to do the introduction over. Just go into about your experience.
Okay.
Hold
my
on. One of
experience-
our comments says try turning off your cancellation. I think it's off. Is that hold on. Let me see. Maybe for me. No, my echo cancellation is not on. And let's see for Corey. Edit mic set. Okay. Okay, his was on. So thank you, Tasha. Let's try that. Okay, try see if that's better. Thank you everyone for your patience.
You
You hear?
Ah! Try.
wait.
Now it has
How is this?
now you're sideways.
I'm
I'm sideways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep it up.
I don't know how to.
I don't know how to fix.
I don't know how to fix it either. Okay, well just go.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Your
so
experience
first-
it's okay, tell day.
it's okay.
Oh, it's okay to tell.
Okay.
Okay.
First,
It's
okay
okay to tell
an
an amazing
app
app on life
growing
growing up
and
and
so as
as a teenager.
from when
When I was a kid, hearing when
mother
mother first told me
that
that
I could
I could tell her whatever
with
with no consequence,
I was
I was ecstatic.
I was
I was so happy
because
generally
as
as a kid, as a teenager,
every
every age group
has
has things that
parents
parents
has
things
don't
don't want. So
it was
it was just
it was a
it was a great. And
as you
as you get older,
over
over time,
it
it turns oh
have to
have to wait until
for that
I did this one thing,
and
and
it
it turns more
a
a
stronger
stronger relationship
your
with your parents in because now
oh
well
I have to
I have to wait until
for this
for this one thing into
well now
now I'm
comfortable
comfortable
with
speaking with her in general.
so
So
I tell my
I tell my mother every
and
and it's because of
this
this it's okay to tell
that
that I'm
comfortable.
comfortable.
Thank you. I think we pretty much got that. Lorraine asks, how old are you?
I'm
I'm
17.
17. Birthday's in December.
Okay. Okay. Tasha said we're still listening. Yeah, but I think pretty much everybody got the gist of that. Just to
I
summarize. What?
I was
I was shopping.
A little bit. A little
Okay.
bit, but you and I mean, for me, I was able to also read your lips. So,
Okay.
but just to summarize what my offspring has said, he said that as far as it's okay to tell day, it then as he got older expanded beyond the day itself, right? Okay, the beyond the day itself, and now he's just more comfortable coming and speaking and talking to me about what the things that he's going through. I have a question. Okay,
Yeah.
Tasha said she could understand everything you said. Okay, thanks for that, Tasha. I have a question. Considering that your father and I are not together, has it's okay to tell day had an impact on how you communicate with him?
Mm, not,
Not,
but
but
only
only
because
because I don't speak
much.
much.
So,
So,
but when we
but
do
when we
talk,
do talk,
it's
it's
not like
not.
I'm not
I'm not
comfortable.
comfortable.
It's
It's
just I'm
just I'm
as
as
comfortable
comfortable
with
with
him as
him as
Okay. Okay. Would you say that I guess the practice or your ability to speak to me about things going on in your life has had a positive impact with in your relationships with your friends or your girlfriend?
yes.
yes.
Because growing
As
up,
growing up,
I was
I was
already
already
you
you
know
know
things and
things
talk
and talk
how I
how I
feel
feel
with
with
you.
you.
I was
I
able
was
to.
able to.
It was
It
easier
was easier
to
to
explain how I
explain how I
peers and
fears and
Okay, explain how you feel with your peers and your girlfriend. Okay.
with my
with my
peers.
peers.
It's not
It's not.
it's not hard
It's
to
not
tell
hard to tell
if I feel a
if I feel
certain
a
way.
certain way.
I let
You know,
them
I let
know
them know
about it. You
about
talk
it.
with
You talk
early,
quickly,
and we move on.
and we move on.
So
So
I think
I
the
think the
gotten
in
from telling
from
you
telling you
has shifted
has shifted
to and made
to
it
and
easy
made it easy
to tell my
to
friends
my
every day.
friends every.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. All right, sir. Well, thank you. Any final thoughts?
Welcome.
Welcome.
You know,
You know,
hey,
hey,
happy
you know,
Monday. I
I love
love the
I love the
and
and
good morning.
good
God bless.
morning. God bless.
I think we got that.
Right.
Okay. We're back. I hope. Please let me know. Can you all see me? I had a little Wi-Fi difficulty there. Lorraine, thank you. How is your son? I didn't hear him. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to the comments. That was Uriel, aka Corey. I really appreciate him and his input. I think he takes off. He's a chip off the old block. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, and as you can see, coming from, I didn't tell him to say any of that, y'all, but he shared how it's okay to tell day growing up with it has not only positively affected the relationship he has with me, but also has influenced his communication with his friends. So I'm so glad to hear that. I didn't know that before. I mean, which is why I asked from him talking. So, okay, let's go back to the comments. Lady Millionaire, Mrs. Lady Millionaire, good morning. I love what you are doing. This coming on the heels of an open conversation I had with my child. It is the confirmation I needed that I am on the right track as a parent. Keep going. Thank you, Lady Millionaire. And proud of you, and I hope your relationship with your child continues to flourish and you can help keep any of your babies or even children in your community as safe as possible. Okay. Hold on, let me go back to my media. So again, it's okay to tell day. Just a quick announcement. I share the flyer for the video clip. I want to share the flyer for our upcoming event. Should I get therapy? Where can I do that? Present image file. No. Okay, bear with me here, everyone. Okay. So, and actually, this is not the updated one. It's been updated since this one. So this is part of for Mental Health Awareness Month, Precious Little Ladies Health and Wellness Series, which we are expanding on, is being held on May 10th. I'm getting the updated flyer really quick so we can change this one out. And I could give you the correct information, the updated information. Image file. Okay, here we go. It is happening the day before Mother's Day. There we go. This is the updated version. Part of our health and wellness series happening on Saturday, May 10th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be more information posted on our social media and our website. So please check out Instagram at PLL, and if you're watching from here, the link to register from Instagram also. I believe the link to register is in our bio. If not, it will be up by tomorrow. So we're going to have refreshments, Mother's Day giveaways. So please don't be discouraged that it's the day before Mother's Day. It is a 3-hour event, so we want to keep it short and sweet, get straight to the point, answer your questions. And there will be refreshments provided. I will be there. We'll have some mental health resources. There will be signups for BetterHelp. We have PLL has a partnership with BetterHelp, the online virtual therapy platform, and you can sign up for a free 6 months of BetterHelp, and also speak with mental health care providers directly, face to face. Ask your questions. We're going to have therapists and counselors for adults, and hopefully we're working on it through one of our partners for children as well, if you are ever considering getting your child some mental health services. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really excited about that. And we're also going to talk about alternatives to traditional, like to a traditional psychologist or therapist. So there will be a Reiki practitioner on board. Now, for me, a lot of people ask me, did I have a therapist? And I will go more into this at the event, but once I escaped my father and I'm trying to establish myself in the world in the early part, no, I didn't have a therapist. I didn't think I wanted a therapist. I had the stigma of, well, if you were put into therapy, that means that something is terribly wrong with you mentally, and not even understanding how the abuse that I suffered impacted me. Of course, I was not looking for anything to fix because I didn't know there was anything to fix. So this will answer questions like that. And that is what inspired us to have an event like this, because I think everybody should have a therapist, just to have an objective viewpoint on your life, to get advice. And I know some people do speak with or get like a life coach, which essentially is a form of counselor and a form of therapy. So hopefully this will help the community, and help the community, as usual, which you know we like to do, help the community identify resources. All right, y'all. So let's go back to the questions. Are there any questions? Lorraine says we have to tell children not to violate others as well. Yes, and that is a part of any of the work that we do. We are working on a series. It's not yet implemented. It's complete, it's planned, it's laid out, but we are looking for spaces to give this workshop, and it is Men Plus Boys Equals Allies, where we are talking to boys and men about their role in preventing abuse, also teaching them things about explicit consent, being sensitive to their partner if their partner is a survivor, and also addressing the challenges that they may be facing if they are survivors as well. So I'm looking forward to executing that. Lorraine, were you extremely cautious with who could be around your children after you got away from your dad? Yes, definitely. When I first started, going back to when I first started dating, essentially my children were not allowed to be in the house when the man was over. And it took me some time. And then even after I got married, I didn't fully sleep at night. I mean, I already was not sleeping fully at night because my daughter, who has passed away, and actually today is her birthday. My daughter, Uoko Kunre, she passed away in 2010 from difficulties of her condition. She had spinal muscular atrophy and was completely disabled, but taking care of her and taking care of her needs, I did not sleep through the night because I had to wake up every couple of hours to go check on her because she was on respiratory support. So I had to go check on her. So then when I got married, my husband moved in the bed, it woke me up. I had to know where he was, and I had to talk about that with him, because I became very overly cautious with my children, and I had to make sure I spoke to them about letting me know if they felt uncomfortable, or all of their thoughts and feelings as much as possible. So Izzy says, hey Aziza, thank you so much. Izzy from YouTube. Hey Aziza, thank you so much for sharing your story. It was full of resilience. I came from Cults to Consciousness channel. Hi Izzy, thank you. Thank you very much. I was recently featured on a channel called Cults to Consciousness. If you have not watched the interviews, it was 2 interviews, please do so. Just look up Cults to Consciousness on YouTube. Lorraine, I'm sure you did it, not sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to. And happy birthday to your daughter. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're doing a little balloon visual. We release balloons and wish her happy birthday, wish her a spiritual happy birthday and eat food and cake. So thank you, Izzy. I'm sorry to hear about your daughter. It's my birthday too. Sending love. Happy birthday. Oh, wow. So you guys share a birthday. That's special. Oh, that's so special. Yeah, she was a beautiful soul. Oh my gosh. Everyone loved her. Everyone loved her. She had her bratty moments, but her heart and her smile. Okay, I'm not going to get all into that. But y'all, so we have come to the end of our broadcast. If there are no more questions, I will be posting clips of this broadcast on our social media. Precious Little Ladies at PLL Nonprofit. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Of course, this live feed will still be available on my channel, Aziza Kabibi, but we're going to share clips and more information because, yes, it's all about raising awareness, sharing the sharing the deeds, and getting the conversation going. Lorraine, my apologies. The computer writes the wrong thing I meant. I'm sure you were cautious. Okay, yes, I was. And that's all for today. So let me know if you want any information from PLL. If you want to share our information with someone that you know, please go to our social media. There's plenty of shareable items there. Our website is preciouslittleladies.org. There's information there as well. You could still contribute to It's Okay to Tell Day through our survey. The link is also on the website until to attempt to you can get your chance at a free child's tablet for your children by contributing your input and your insight to our survey, because we all help each other through our experiences and through our input, and the only way to learn from each other is to actually have that conversation. So that is what this survey does, and you have the opportunity to earn a kid's tablet. So that will still be available and open until tomorrow, actually. And I just want to give a shout out to our PLL ambassadors at Bergen Community College. They are having an It's Okay to Tell Day tabling event tomorrow, Monday the 17th, because really It's Okay to Tell Day is every day, and It's Okay to Tell month is for the entire month of March to encourage survivors of abuse to speak out. So if you would like to do that, please email me. If you would like to share your story through our platform, please email info@pllnonprofit.org. And actually, let me put that up. info@pllnonprofit.org. And we can talk about how we get people all the time asking how can they share their story. Sharing your story is very empowering. I understand that it can be re-traumatizing. It can also make you even more vulnerable if your abuser is still out there. So we take as many precautions as possible. But if you are interested in sharing your story to help somebody else, definitely email us and put in the subject line, share my story, and we will speak to you. Someone will reach out to you about what that looks like for you. It could be in the form of a poem. We can share on our website and our social media. You may want to do a short video or reel for social media. or you may just have to want to have a conversation and be a guest on one of our lives. So it's all about sharing stories and learning from each other. And that's what we and me, Aziza Kabibi, encourages people to do. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the commenters, Izzy, Lorraine, everyone who got involved. Angela, thank you. Uriel, also known as Corey, thank you for your insight and input from the perspective of one of the youths for It's Okay to Tell Day. Thank you to Lady Millionaire for your comment, and everyone who contributed and watched this program for It's Okay to Tell Day. See you next year, and I'll probably see you in the interim. Thank you again. Be blessed, for you are a blessing. Bye.